So as many of you guys do know, Playboi Carti has been teasing the release of his next album following I Am Music, being Baby Boi. Baby Boi has been a thing that Carti has been stamping very heavy following the release of his album. Felt like in every other caption, Carti's like, yo, Baby Boi on the way, if y'all do this, Baby Boi is dropping this, that, and that. So we're like, yo, when is this new Carti album gonna drop following music? And today we just got some new information regarding the album from a very credible source, being Swamp Izzo. So let's get into it. So to start off the video, I feel like we should kind of go back and do our research in regards to all the times Carti has been teasing Baby Boi, right? It really became a thing, you know, following the release of music. Before that, it was always kind of like floating around the air, more so within like the insiders type leak community. Insiders like, yo, Carti actually has another album following music that he's gonna drop potentially back to back or very soon following the release of his latest album, and it's called Baby Boi this, that, and that. A lot of people were like, yo, I don't really know if I believe this, that, and that. It's not really from a credible source, it's just from like these insiders, right? But that eventually came true because Carti started stamping Baby Boi, and everyone's like, yo, Baby Boi's a real thing. Carti's actually gonna drop Baby Boi. Who knows when, right? But this is all the times Carti has teased Baby Boi, I'd say, as of March 26th, because that was the last time this post came out, right? So I believe this was the day the project released on March 14th. Somebody said, Carti, you want to give us back-to-back albums since you love us so much? And he actually pinned that comment on this ASAP Relly post right here. He put good credit. That post is jokes, but he pinned that comment talking about back-to-back posts. So everybody's like, yo, Baby Boi back-to-back, is that what he's gonna do? Because if y'all remember that video ASAP Bari put out, that like vlog he put out, the Endless Denim vlog, he was on a phone call with Carti, and Carti was like, yo, I'm trying to drop 2 of them back-to-back.
I'm trying to drop 2 of them.
Back-to-back?
Back-to-back, February, then goddamn.
But this phone call was all the way back in 2023, so we're like, probably just dude's yapping, right? Dude's yapping, doesn't really make sense. But he pinned this, right? Then boom, 3/24 at 3:44 p.m. Shout out Reza Carti. He said, alive, alive, alive. Keep it up, Baby Boi on the way, 1. And he kept saying, Baby Boi on the way, Baby Boi on the way, Baby Boi on the way. And it was almost like Carti kind of trying to test the fans, or like, yo, if y'all get me to #1, if y'all get me to sell this amount of sales. It really just felt like a marketing scheme in my opinion. It was like, yo, every time Carti speaks on Baby Boi, he's trying to get the fans to push his album or sell it more or like get more streams, XYZ. So could he just be blue balling the fans and not drop? Definitely could, right? But he did say, keep it up, Baby Boi on the way. He ain't done. This was the next day, 3/25, run it up and I'll drop Baby Boi. Then he said, we got to keep this stuff going, we got to stay in with this whole thing. #1, we deserve that MF, right? And I believe that was the last time he said, let's go #1 again. We in competition with ourselves, because Carti's been going #1, I believe, since the project release. Maybe Ariana Grande, she dropped like an 8-song deluxe. Maybe she beat him out for that #1, but Carti was like #1 with his album on Billboard for 3 weeks in a row, which was insane. I didn't really predict that, to be honest. I thought it was gonna kind of fall maybe within the 2nd week, but I mean, a lot of people are listening to this project because the bundles haven't even shipped out yet. If you bought a bundle 6 months ago, you still ain't get it, right? So that's kind of like the context behind Baby Boi. Carti's been teasing it very heavy, right? But it's more so just been floating around the air, just kind of like an open concept. Is it gonna come true? Is it not? We don't know, right? But we just got some new information from Swamp Izzo. Obviously, Swamp Izzo was flooded throughout the entirety of this album. I've seen a lot of people hating on Swamp Izzo, talking about, yo, Unk's yapping too much on this project. Yo, he's doing too much. Me personally, I thought Izzo was kind of like the cherry on top. There wasn't that many Carti ad-libs on this project. And you know, Izzo was lit in my opinion. He was doing his thing, seemed like he was having fun. What do you say? We got the whole world saying trim, Carti. Izzo was funny, bro. He was just like clip farming throughout this whole project. I rock with Izzo heavy, right? But he actually did an interview with Complex Magazine, right? And he said Playboi Carti's Baby Boi album is done according to Swamp Izzo. He got over 50, about 60 songs done via Complex, right? They said, yo, he's been teasing Baby Boi. Izzo said, ready, it's done. So then they followed up by saying, yo, is Baby Boi new music? What's gonna be the sound of Baby Boi, right? Because those insiders who really like truly revealed the concept of Baby Boi, they were saying like, yo, it's this left field. It's not gonna sound anything like the project. It's gonna be like a pop-based project. It's gonna be like something we've never seen from Carti, with some maybe experimental features or just a lane Carti's never fully dived in with, right? So that's kind of like the floating theory regarding the sound of Baby Boi, right? So they said, yo, is it new music? He said new music. He got over 50 to 60 songs done. So I'm guessing those are 50 or 60 songs that are like, yo, these, if we could drop them tomorrow, if we need to somehow drop a project tomorrow, or we need some songs ready to go, he got about 50 to 60, which is crazy and pretty expected, right? I mean, Carti has been cooking this project the past 5 years, right? He's probably sitting on maybe like 5K songs, I'm gonna be honest, but I do know Carti is sitting on thousands and thousands of songs, 1000%, right? Then they said, yo, are the songs completed to his liking? Like, are these like real legit droppable type songs? He said, I couldn't say that, but they're done. If I was still in that mixtape era, we'd have Baby Boi 1 through 9. Then he just kind of talked about like his DJ career, right? And I believe there's another clip right here, a 30-second clip. Let's see what he's talking about.
Baby Boi.
Ready.
What is that?
Or actually, I think
Done.
this is just a text version of
New
this.
music or music that he's
New
had?
music. You got over 50, 60 songs done, completed. To his liking, I couldn't say, but they're done. If I was still in that mixtape era, we'd have Baby 1 through 9 so far. If I was back in that era. As DJs back 15
Yo,
years
so
ago,
funny, bro.
we
I
were so
rock with them.
felt on them exclusives. We couldn't even sleep till we
Swamp Izzo.
put it out before everybody. So done. Baby Boy's done.
Baby Boi is done, finished. Baby Boi, it seems like, from Swamp Izzo, who had pretty much one of the biggest hands involved with the last Carti album, said, Baby Boi, Carti's next album, Falling Music, is finished. So now let's go into when can we see Baby Boi actually drop, right? Before this information, when it was kind of like a floating concept, when a lot of people were like, I don't really know if it's dropping. I don't even know if it's done. But now since Izzo said it's done, I was saying like, yo, earliest we could probably see it maybe like midsummer. But then again, he is going to be on tour with The Weeknd during the entirety of the summer. So I was like, is he going to drop the project mid-tour, or like half of the city's not going to get to experience Baby Boi live? I don't really think that's the case. In my opinion, what I think Carti should do, yo, he dropped music in March. Tours in May, I believe, like in May or June, something like that. Boom. You go on tour with The Weeknd, stadium tour, boom, it's huge. You debut your new project live for the first time, right? Boom. Right after the tour ends, it ends in September. He drops Baby Boi in September, announces, the I Am Music World Tour, the music, specifically his headlining tour with a new project. 2 new projects. Maybe Baby Boi isn't that big. I don't really think Baby Boi is going to be like another 30 songs. I don't really expect that. I'm more so probably thinking it's going to be like a small, concise, well put together, curated album. That's realistically what I'm aiming towards with Baby Boi, but it's Carti, so you really never know what the hell is going to go down. I say he drops about September after the Weeknd tour. Boom, goes on another tour, maybe like winter time, top of the year 2026. 2 albums on tour, solo tour. That would be insane. That's my kind of play, my imaginary theory. But like I said, he could drop maybe summer. He could drop next week. Who really knows? But obviously, Ken is going to drop. And that goes into my next theory, in that I think Opium is doing back-to-back releases. And the fact that like Carti obviously dropped March. Ken obviously is dropping April 11th next week. Homicide Gang just announced May. Their Homicide Lifestyle 2 is dropping. So confirmed March, boom, that went down. April, next week, that's 1000% going down, more chaos. May, from Homicide Gang, confirmed May. Lone Mixtape July, that would be pretty crazy, right? March, April, May, June would be nuts. Then Carti drops Baby Boi, July, August, September, end of summer. That would be crazy. This is the year of Opium 1000%. And also another piece of information Izzo did with this Complex interview. He said Carti was actually working on the project till like the very last minute. So I believe like the FaceTime with Kai, he was still actively working on the project. That's why it released like at 6 or like 8 a.m. Eastern time, right? This is what he said right
So
here.
the first song, Pop Out, we did that doing the prologue of the album coming out. The album was done. It's supposed to drop at 12. He's like, nah, Swamp, just go in the other room and just give me some more energy. It's like, for real? It's done. We ready. We locked. You locked. Everybody.
Yo, he's funny, bro.
All right, we're going to drop at 3. I go back in. So if you listen to Pop Out, you be like, man, I'm in here with Swamp right now on my mama. You know what I mean?
I'm really in it big with Swamp on my mom.
We just trying to make
That's
the
the
album
best
more,
part of Pop Out, in my
more and
opinion.
more exciting. So we just
Okay, so
crammed
they're
it.
pretty much just adding finishing touches, like the cherry on top on every song. When he was clip farming Kai
Like when
Snap,
they
dodging him with the
prolong
fake
it,
text.
whatever's happening with the politics behind the stages, we recorded all the way up to the album actually came out.
That's
so when
crazy,
they dropped at
bro.
7, we were still in the studio on Everything I Love. It was already 24. At 12 o'clock, it was already 24, 25. It was locked.
What? So he added 5
Didn't happen,
songs in the last like 3 hours of the
That he
project
was like,
dropping?
Let's go back in. Go back in.
Or he made
do
more
what?
songs.
So
Maybe
then
5
the
more.
shuffle started changing. The song selection started changing. What you heard, the final, that was a whole different shuffle. Because he's still storming in his mind. He's still creating. He's doing interviews. He's calling people. Everybody want to talk. Like, what's up? What's the hold up? He get off an interview and be like, nah. Pull that beat up. Like, what?
No way.
Let's go back
That's
in.
crazy.
And people think he's just like that's just happening. I'm out there. I'm actually there for every song, every session, because it's a
So Izzo said 24 songs
different
was set to go on iMusic, and then when the whole Kai Cenat academics type deal went down, he added 5 more. He cooked
needs
5
to be
more.
done. Now you can add the Swamp
From
Izzo drop
scratch.
in it, but it has to be right and it has to be wrong at the same time.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I personally didn't think that was the case. I thought he was probably sitting on this album, I don't think for like months or years. I thought he was sitting on like 85-90% of this album for like maybe like the last 2 weeks, but he was cooking until the last very second of the project. That's insane. 24 to 30, that's major, especially, bro, that's crazy. Adding 5 to 6 new songs when you thought the project was ready, and the project was supposed to drop like 3 hours ago. Only Carti would do that, bro. Only Carti would do that. But hey, he's a GOAT for that. He's a GOAT for that. But that's kind of everything we knew regarding this complex DJ Swamp Izzo interview. He spoke on Baby Boi. Baby Boi is finished. Also just dropped a bombshell of crazy information that I was not expecting. And we could maybe see back to back 2025 Opium's year 1000%. But if you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's MONEYMAY or Zay, and I'm out. Thank you guys.